Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not.
NFL playoffs.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone who enjoyed our Wildcats playoff parody.
Yes.
The younger people, the younger folk don't get it, but the ones who do get it, they appreciate it.
Yes.
So it is the NFL playoffs. This last weekend was incredible. It was very fun, other than the Colts-Texans game, which was a bore fest.
I mean, the Chargers-Ravens game was tough to watch until the fourth.
Yeah, but then they finally came through.
It was still tough to watch. I was like, the first games were snoozers. The NFL looked right for putting all the late games late because they were the great games.
Watching that Texans game, and we'll get to it a little bit later, but man, yeah, pipe down with the MVP talk, JJ Watt. They're just.
I mean,
Simmer.
I think I've been on record asking JJ Watt to pipe down for over a year now. So
I think you did you try and cancel JJ Watt?
I just was saying,
we canceled a couple things which we'll get to later, which we were very spot on. Not nothing to brag about there, but we were ahead of the canceling.
Yes.
But anyway, let's talk about the games that are coming up.
Let's do it.
So Chiefs and Colts is the first game of the weekend. I would have put that at a different time myself, but whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting. Chiefs don't do very well at winning home playoff games historically.
Now they haven't had a Patrick Mahomes yet.
There's only one Patrick Mahomes.
Amen.
They are on a bye, which I don't love for the Chiefs.
Playoff buys for teams that are shaky near the end.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let me not foreshadow, but like, there's some teams that we're going to talk about that could have used the game this last week.
The reason I don't like the bye for the Chiefs is because their defense is not good. I know they have some names on defense, but don't let that confuse you with the fact that the defense is bad. And it's not. Don't let that fool you, because you're like, oh, there's a couple. I know that guy. It doesn't matter. They're still 31st in defense in the league. I don't know if you know math very well, but that's bad. That's almost the worst.
I didn't know they were 31st.
Not quite the worst.
I look at a lot of stats.
Very close to the worst defense in the league. Which we forget, because the Chiefs are good. So it's like very confusing. You know what I mean? But that's why I don't like them having a bye. Also, you want to pay attention to trends, and the Colts are the hottest team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
They're
win the
scary.
Game. Yes, they win them hand. Other than that, Jacksonville, the week 14,
everybody gets a weird Jacksonville
but
loss.
They've been running well,
not everybody, because Jacksonville doesn't win that many games, but they are capable of randomly winning a game for no reason that doesn't help their season.
Jacksonville might be getting a good quarterback next year. We'll talk about that later too.
Well, they are going to owe Bortles a lot of money if they do that, to not play. But anyway, Andrew Luck's playing out of his mind. I know everyone still has some doubts about Andrew Luck, and I'm kind of in that category, but I'll say that's all just coming from the fact that Andrew Luck has been hurt a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I was
like, I've been trying to figure out why are you still doubting Andrew Luck? Because the guy has done a lot of not playing.
Yeah,
and we pay attention to what we've seen lately, and lately he's been great. But there's still that lingering feeling of like, why don't I really trust Andrew Luck? And for me, that's what it is, because he was injured a lot. Yeah,
like I've been following Andrew Luck because I met him, when I played high school football and I was an All-American. You know what I mean? He was the starter of the West team. What can I say? I started for the East. But anyways, I've been following his career like I follow all those guys' career. And his first year, and he was a Stanford guy, so there's a little bit of like tumultuous, and I almost went to Stanford. So like I've been like kind of I did. I almost went to Stanford. And I'm like kind of resentful towards him a little bit. And his rookie year, he led the season, or he led the NFL in turnovers. So I was like, this guy's just going to be too much of a gunslinger. But over time, I mean, listen, he's an otherworldly guy. I have friends who have been on the Colts team, and they just say that like you walk by and you hear him talking, and he's talking about like children in Africa and like government reform. Like he's book club Andrew Luck, and that's why it's just hard to. It's hard to put your mind behind a football player just being like Sherlock Holmes.
Well, that and that beard, it's just you just assume he just goes home and chops wood for hours.
You see how upset he was when he accidentally cussed? He was doing an interview. He said a curse word, and he's just a weird dude.
Fair, but he's also playing really well, and their defense is 11th in the league, and that is promising. So I want to so very badly to just believe in the Chiefs.
Yep.
And I do. I do think the Chiefs will win this game.
You do.
But I don't say that with a whole lot of conviction in my gut because it's just the Colts are just scary. I in no way want the Colts to win this game because the Chiefs are far more interesting and exciting. But that's my own personal opinion. And congrats on the Colts beating the stupid Texans. I love Deshaun Watson. We love Deshaun Watson around here. But he's just on the wrong team. Like the Texans are just they are really good at losing the first game of the playoffs and just I'm with Colin. I don't want to see him anymore. Like I need Deshaun Watson to get off that team because I really like Deshaun Watson a lot.
Yeah.
But there's just that's just what they do.
Deshaun Watson on the Texans is Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Bucks.
Well, maybe not this year, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll get to the Texans later. All right, so the Cowboys play the Rams in Los Angeles. That is a home game for the Cowboys.
Amen.
If you have forgotten, the Cowboys training camp is in Los Angeles. So there are, and if that wasn't the case, well, not in Los Angeles, but in California. And Oxnard.
Yes.
Nobody not from LA knows or cares where that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's close to LA. It's reasonably close to LA. Anyway, the point is the Cowboy. It was already going to be a home game for the Cowboys to begin with because Cowboys fans are obviously everywhere.
Right.
But even more so. And I this is another team I don't like a bye for. Now they did kind of need some rest. They were a little banged up. Were the Rams, but the Cowboys. I think I canceled the Cowboys this year at some point. Didn't I say the Cowboys were bad?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Done
so we're not. Yeah, I mean, well, at the time they were bad. So.
And if we're talking about what was said before, I think Brandon. Gosh, I hate third person. I think I said something about the defense being in the top 5 near the end of the year on the defensive line, and that their defense has been the reason why they've won a lot of these games.
Oh, well, they're
Shouts
not.
out
They're
Dak Prescott.
7th, so you're still wrong.
Well, top 10.
But
that's still pretty good.
You said top 5.
I just threw it out there.
Anyway, the point is, they.
Well, let me say this real quick, because you're talking about home games and away games. The Rams, essentially every game after December has seemed like an away game for them, because I just feel like they don't know how to play in the cold, and I feel like it's going to be cold in L.A.
No, it's not cold in LA.
It hasn't been cold in LA.
It's cold. Okay, it's cold.
It's been LA cold.
It's cold for LA.
Okay, it's been LA
it's not
cold.
Like actually cold.
I've been outside like, damn.
Yeah, I wore my puffy coat a couple times last week.
Thank you.
They got a good win over the Seahawks, which were a scary team.
Right.
And shout out to the Seahawks for turning that season around because I'm not really big on moral victories, but everybody canceled the Seahawks from the very beginning of the season, and they wound up in the playoffs and looked scary there for a second. By the way, Dak just earned himself all the monies.
I want to say good for him, but I still don't like his private jet ad he had at the beginning of the season. So like I reserve the right to congratulate him, but
private jets.
good for him.
There's nothing better than private jets.
I know, but just Dak Prescott as the face of the private jet.
Of all
line,
the luxuries you can enjoy in life, flying private is by far the best.
I went to Notre Dame. I've flown private before, but so I understand. I hear you and I respect that. But my starting quarterback being the face of a jetliner feels a little like get out.
Patrick Mahomes is.
I say what I said.
Whatever. Anyway, he is going to make all the money. Like he won the Cowboys a playoff game. It's just it is what it is. It's going to be very difficult for the Cowboys to wiggle around paying him. I don't know how you do it unless he just decides he's just going to be nice and give them a discount, which I never endorse any player taking less money, but in this modern NFL, you kind of have to if you want to win.
The only reason Tom Brady and the Patriots have been in the situation they have been is because
he takes less money.
Yeah, and so who do you think's going to win that game though?
That game, I think that the Cowboys are going to win, and it could be that I feel like I haven't seen much from the Rams. Yeah. But I don't like the bye for the Rams either. I think they're too young.
They needed the game.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys in that game.
Honestly, I'm with you. Like running games and defense travel. We already said this is kind of like a home game for the Cowboys. Jerry's going to get a chance to check out Jerry World 2.0 whenever he gets that started. And I just don't see Aaron Donald sacking Dak Prescott or being a factor enough because the best player on the Rams team is Aaron Donald. And I don't think he makes a big enough impact on what the Cowboys do offensively to make a difference. So, like, I mean, it might be one of those embarrassing Clemson, Alabama type wins.
We'll go to that later. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Yes, Eller.
I was just excited for hard hat Jerry pictures at the new stadium. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Walking around pointing and stuff.
I know everyone keeps saying that the new stadium in LA is going to be like the greatest stadium in the country, and I don't know, man. That I gotta wait until I see the Vegas stadium, because Vegas does stuff on a whole nother level.
That's true.
And they just print money there. So
not enough to get it ready for them to come next year.
I mean, it takes time to build a stadium.
Okay.
There's ours flooded here, so we can't.
It takes
really
time to like. In Vegas, if they can find somebody, that stadium could be built. That stadium could be built in Vegas. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't even look like that. I'm saying they on coffee. They awake all the time in Vegas. They on
we
white
all on
coffee.
coffee.
No, they on white coffee out there, and they can get it done all hours of the night.
Extra milk.
Yes.
And sugar.
But yes, I agree. Cowboys.
Yeah. Okay. Now the Patriots play the Chargers in New England. Battle of the old guys.
Yes.
Phillip Rivers talking shit is the funniest thing. Visibly talking shit is the funniest thing ever. That like pause for the first down. I just. That was his longest rushing play of his entire career. So I would wait. I could still be waiting for him to push first down, and I'd be okay with it. Because like that's a monumental moment. That's the first time he's been on an NFL field running that long. He's great.
Yeah,
he's something. Now, while the other two I didn't like the buys for, love the buy for the Patriots, because that's what the Patriots do.
They need it.
And they need it. Mm-hmm. And they are really, really, really good in the playoffs at home. I know everyone's afraid of the Chargers. I don't like how they played against the Ravens, and I am going with the Patriots because I'm not a dummy.
Well, I would say this. The Chargers, anything can happen because Gus Bradley started, it was like 4 safeties on the field for 57 of the 59 snaps against the Ravens. Like Gus Bradley and whatever that coaching staff is doing, they're thinking outside of the box. Like after that, like no one has put that many safeties on the field for like more than 17 plays in a game. So like that's on when it comes to like football IQ and the changes and the coaching that's important in the playoffs. The Chargers may have a leg up.
I think the Chargers are a great team. This is what the Patriots do. And I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm just saying I think that the Patriots will end up winning because it's Tom Brady and the Patriots and Belichick at home and they have a bye. So, I mean, that's just generally speaking, that means they're going to win. I
mean, I've been preaching Tom Brady going down, like the end of Tom Brady since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I don't know
season.
I don't know why you keep doing that.
But I thought that maybe like a young person would dethrone him. I think this is the perfect way to go out. Get dethroned by somebody who's always been trying to dethrone you, because I think the Chargers do win this game.
Hey.
That was Heller drop.
Heller is really
soundboard.
So Heller has a bug today. He really wants to be involved. What? Was that what your input on that?
I was just gonna tell Brandon to call his shot. Let's do this.
Oh, Chargers.
Brady's done. Come on.
No, Brady's not done. But okay, so you're picking the Chargers. That's bold. All right, and then finally, the Eagles and the Saints in New Orleans. Another bye that is I like because it's an old. I like the buys for the old guys, not for the young guys. It's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
The Saints are incredible at home. Drew Brees had an MVP caliber season. They are an amazing offense, and I know. My only hesitation, because I really felt like it's Saints lock for the Super Bowl when they had the bye and home field advantage.
But now
the Eagles is Nick Foles, man. I don't know. I know Nick Foles is a very like religious, spiritual person because but he really has God on his side. Like. He has done some good works in his past life.
You can see
this life.
Yeah.
God can see that he's going to do good things in his next life, and he has chose to bless him. Because I don't understand what is going on with Nick Foles, and I'm kind of rooting for him to get to the Super Bowl and win again, just because I want to see what on earth do you do if you're the Eagles and that happens. And that's a real conversation we have to have at this point.
I said it before. I said it the last time we had a show in 2018. If the Eagles, if Nick Foles,
sneak that joke
I'm just saying. Last time was 2018. I said it last year.
All right, go ahead.
But anyways, Nick Foles, if he goes on a playoff run, they're seriously going to have to consider what they can get for Carson Wentz, because it doesn't matter if Carson Wentz is the best player or is the best. He could be the. I don't want to throw any shit. He could be like the Kobe of the team in the sense of like he needs he's so confident in his abilities that he makes plays that put other players in bad positions. That happens a lot. Nick Foles is working with the team that he has. And this is now the Super Bowl team that won. Like now it's Super Bowl team, adding my boy Golden Tate, who didn't have to text me back on the same day, but I texted him and he texted me back. And he said, "What's good? Yes, I do need to come to the podcast, say what's up to you, enjoy. I live in San Diego." I'm like, bet. I love San Diego. But anyways, like I'm saying, like I have to root. Now I got to switch it because I was the Vikings. I got to root for the Eagles and I do think that they can beat the Saints because that defense is real. And they're just waking up. That defense, the backfield is trash, but they're good enough to beat the Saints, especially off of a bye. Because I didn't really like how the Saints were playing near the end of the season.
No, I didn't either. But I still fear the Saints. I'm afraid of the Eagles. I'm going to pick the Saints. But I would not be. I don't say that with any conviction. I would not be surprised if the Eagles won this game.
I forgot about all the weapons the Saints have, like Kamara.
Yeah, the Saints are really good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are our picks. I'm taking the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Patriots, and the Saints.
I got Colts, Cowboys, Chargers, Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we're on the same page with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Which means we'll probably both be wrong.
Yeah.
Bet on the Rams.